Hello people, welcome to my channel. Today you'll be learning how to make this structured sleeve. Also, if you want to see the tutorial on how to make the coily train at the back of this dress, the long one, I'll be dropping the link in the description box. So this is the boning I use. It is called pipe boning. So you don't use the normal flat one. This is the tiny round one. So I have one previously before now. This one is very hard. It has stayed with me for a very long time, and this is the new one I got. This new one is not as hard as the other one. Okay, so this is the one that is in the market currently. So they have different types. They have the one that is very soft. They have the one that is bigger than this. They have the one that is smaller than this, but this is just the normal size. I couldn't get the size from the buyer. Okay, so this is organdy. I'm using organdy. So we have organza, we have organdy. So this is the superior version of organza. Okay, and then this is what I'm using. So you can use chiffon, you can use silk, you can use any light fabric of your choice, any fabric that is not too thick. It's okay. So I got 1.5 yards because I don't want it too long. So if you're doing a very long structured panel, please make sure you make it very long, like the one that's going to go around your body. Please ensure it's long, okay, like 3 or 4 yards. So this is my zipper foot, that is what I'm using to do this. You can use any foot, but zipper foot is preferable if you are doing it my own method. So there are two types of method. Okay, so I'll be showing you one type and I'll be telling you about the other one. So what I'm doing is I'm folding the hem of the side of the fabric. I just folded it once, okay, because I'm still going to fold it again. So I will use it to cover I'll use it to cover the pipe. You can see that it's very tiny. The pipe is not too big. So you have bigger one. Just make sure you get the one that is strong enough, okay? So the zipper foot will help you hold it tight. It will help you sew it closely, okay? So if you want to sew it alone, the other way to do this is to sew it alone. Like you sew it after, so you can sew on 0 point or half inch, quarter of an inch. If you can sew quarter of an inch and then pass the pipe in between, it's fine. But most times it can be too big or it can be too small, and then the pipe will not be able to pass, or the pipe will be too loose inside. So that's why I like using the zipper foot. So you use the zipper foot, you just sew it closely to the pipe, okay? So zipper foot help you. So even if you don't have industrial machine, they have zipper foot for the blackhead machine, okay? So you get a zipper foot and you'll be able to sew it this way, right? So after sewing, make sure you pull it so that you're going to get the length before cutting the pipe. So I'm trying to pull it, ensure that there is no fold, there is no part that is not out, so that the pipe will be long enough before I cut it. Because if you cut the pipe and there is not long enough, it's going to be short, okay? So that is what I'm doing. What I added like about 2 inch extra before cutting, just in case, okay? So that is what I did. And then the next thing is to go back from where you started from. You mark. So the spacing I'm giving is 1 inch spacing, okay? So you can do 1.5, you can do 2 inch space. So I'm doing 1 inch spacing and I'm sewing it on half inch, okay? So the pipe is being sewn on half inch, so I'm marking 1.5, and then the other half is where I'm going to fold the pipe in. So the pipe is like quarter of an inch, is very tiny, okay? So that part I folded, so I folded the half inch to that 1 inch so that I'll be able to sew. So by the time you measure what you folded, what you sew, it's like quarter of an inch. So that's why I mark half inch. Half inch, when you fold it, when you divide it, it's like quarter of an inch. So that is what I'm doing. And then the spacing in between each line is 1 inch, okay? The spacing is 1 inch. So like I said, you can do more than 1 inch, depends on how much fabric you have and how much, but the closer it is, the better, okay? So now for easy, because of the way I'm sewing it, I have to be measuring. So you don't just start with 1 inch spacing at the beginning, and then before you get to the end you have 1.5 or 2 inch spacing. So you need to measure as you sew. So you keep measuring as you sew. That is just the simple way to go about it. Otherwise, there's nothing like I'm an expert, I can do this. Otherwise, you will sew more than half inch. Or if your machine has a guide and then you decide to follow it, okay, it's fine. But if it doesn't, please make sure you measure, right? So that is it. And guys, have you subscribed to this channel? If you haven't done so at this point, I need you to subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram to see what I'm doing. I'm La Ruby Claudia's on Instagram, right? Okay, please don't forget to share this video and like and leave a comment. If you have any tutorial, any style of you want me to make a tutorial on, please, you can drop it in the comment section, or you send a message on Instagram or on Facebook. I'm La Ruby Claudia on Facebook also. All right, so this is me just measuring and sewing. So that is what you keep doing. You keep sewing until you get to the end. When you get to the end, you make sure you pull it, and then you're sure, then you start again. So you measure again. I'll measure my 1 inch. You can see the two that I've sewn two lines already, two channels already. So I'm going to measure again. I'll measure my 1 inch spacing, and then I'll place my boning, and then I'll sew. So that is what you just have to keep doing, keep sewing. Now it can be a little bit stressful, I won't lie to you, because it's a tutorial. Now I didn't capture the part that I had to be going off and on, but just know that it's a bit because it's boning, it's a bit stressful, but it's what you can do. Just take your time, don't rush. Now I'm actually speed up the video. Yes, no, this is not me rushing you, so don't think that she's very fast. I'm not fast here. I just speed up this part of the video. I don't want it to be too long, okay? So take your time and you'll be able to do it. On the other hand, like I said, if you don't want to do it this my method, and you are sure of the size of your pipe, or whatever it is you're using, okay, you can just decide to sew your channel each a half an inch. Sew it all through. After sewing, then you pass your pipe through the channel, okay? So you can sew the channel and then you pass your pipe. So either way, but I don't want to make mistake. I don't want the channel to be too big or too small, and then I have to start loosening, and then you know how you sew sometimes. So but if you are sure, please go ahead, because that one is actually more easier. All you need to do is just to pass the pipe after sewing the channel. But what I did here is to make sure that the sewing is very close to the boning, because of the zipper foot, okay? So that is how you go about it. This is it, guys. I'm done so far. So I've exhausted the boning that I have. Like, I have about almost more than 30 years. I've exhausted it. So what I did here is just to keep it, and then I went back to the market. I got more and I finished it. But I make sure I didn't do too much, just as what I wanted. I don't want it too wide. So when I got enough, I got like 10 more years, and that was enough for me. So you can also use fishing line. I was supposed to use this fishing line, but it was too light. If you can get a very strong fishing line and the one that is a bit fat, you can also use it. So I couldn't use this one because it was too thin and it was too light, although this is the biggest I got in the market. So what I did was just to place it on the bodies of my dress, okay? I pinned it, and then now what you need to do is to style. Please don't style it on your mannequin. You have to finish this dress on your body or the body of your client, okay? Say yes, because it is not what you style and then you think you can put it on. So after putting it on, that is when you style it the way you want. There is no limit to what you can do. You can do it any way, anyhow. All you need to do, just twist it around, and then make sure you have enough pin to pin it when you're using it, when you're styling it, because you have to pin it first before tacking. Once you get what you want, you can now tack, okay? So for the edge, I use my machine. I run a long stitch just to close the part, okay, just to close the end, so that the bone won't pull out. The same thing with the beginning before tacking, okay? So I stuff it at the zipper part of the back of the dress, and that was one way. When it was not okay, I decided to tack it. So I later tacked it around my armhole, under my armhole. So you just style and then you tack, whichever way. Make sure you get what you want before tacking. And then because it's detachable, when immediately I finished using it, I just took it out, and that was all. And then I started wearing the dress. So like I said, I have the tutorial for the full dress from A to Z. If you like to see it, is a paid class. You can pay a token, and then you get the class, the course from the beginning to the end, from scratch, okay? So you follow me on Instagram or send me a DM on Instagram, and then you pay a token for the full tutorial of this dress, the train, the drafting, the embellishments, the coverage, the applique, everything. I have it available, but I decided to just share the tutorial for the ruffle extension, the train, and the and the structured sleeve. Okay, so what I did here was just to get a part from my lace and then to cover it as applique. I just got an applique from the lace and then I covered that part. Okay, then I pinned it to the sleeve, and before I tagged, so this thing I actually finished it on my body, but I just tacked that waist part, that side around my underbutt, because that is where the whole thing is going to start from. And this is it, guys. Like I said, I have the full tutorial. You pay a token and then you have it. Thank you.